Welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. We're out here in the pasture with Adam, the curious buck, and Maple, our mini Jersey cow, and Lily, our Nigerian dwarf goat doe. And the last week has been a tough week for these guys, especially the cow, because she has been a troublemaker. Got the cops called on me, and she's been escaping. And so let's go take a look at her. So Maple is she's the cow we got last year, and the plan with her was we traded a bunch of goats. Actually, it was a good deal for us. We wanted to thin out our herd of goats and kind of focus in on some certain breeds, and so we ended up trading, I don't remember how many goats, 4, 5, 6 goats, something like that, for her. And she's been a great cow. We were hoping that she was pregnant. When we traded for her, the idea was that there was possibility she was pregnant. She was exposed to a bull, but it turns out it has been over a year now, and she has not given birth. So I'm guessing she's not pregnant. She's still a little timid from us, but she lets us pet her. She licks us. She's a sweet cow. So the other morning, I was woken at about 7 o'clock Saturday morning by my neighbor, who said that the police were driving up and down the road trying to figure out whose cow was running up and down the main road. And we've got a pretty paved road in front of the house here. It's 55, and apparently some people had called the cops because there was a cow just running up and down the street. That's problematic for us. Obviously, we don't want her to get hurt. And so when I came out the door, she doesn't go far. She gets out, and she generally just gets in the barn, and she walked through our garden and knocked over some tomato plants, and she went in the greenhouse, looked for food, and she ate all of our carrot tops, and she kind of knocked some things off some shelves in the barn, and just kind of walks around and hangs out in the yard and eats hay out of the hay fields and eats grass and has a good old time. But this morning, my daughter went out to take care of her rabbits, and she came back in and said, "Hey, Dad, Maple's in the yard again." So she's getting out. She's escaping. So she has found a place in this, somehow throughout this fencing, to escape. She's been out here for a year. All of a sudden she's escaping. I don't know how or why or where exactly. I thought I had found the spot the other day and kind of patched it up, but she must have found another way. And so we're gonna kind of take a look at our fencing today. We're gonna try to find out where she's getting out, and might run a couple new electric wires and see if that stops her. If she's out again tomorrow, well, I'll know that didn't solve the problem. We got to figure something else out. So she's been fun to have. So this back stretch of fence here goes all the way down to our drainage ditch. If you remember from earlier this year, I dug. This fence goes all the way along here. And I think this is where she's getting out. It's got a kind of a mid wire for the goats to keep them from putting their heads through the fence. And it had a high wire. I don't know if you can see it up here with the camera. There's a wire right here. And that was for the horses. That keeps them from leaning over or jumping over the fence. But this was all laid down, this woven wire, this old rusty woven wire. And I think she probably just find out that she could kind of straddle this wire, maybe not get shocked, and just kind of make a jump and get through there, is what I think is happening. Somewhere along here. It could be any one of these places. This is kind of the biggest gap. On this side of the fence here, I have a third wire that runs right down the middle. And so I don't think all this rusty woven wire really isn't doing anything. It's really the electric fence that's keeping the animals in. And so, I don't think she'll go near any of this stuff because she'll get shocked. And this is a pretty hard-hitting electric fence. It'll get her good. So I don't think the issue is along here, even though the fencing is worse along here, the actual woven wire is. I think the issue is along that back side. So kind of the standard gear that I go out to the fence with. I've got my fence tester. I want to make sure that the fencing's live, that there's nothing grounded out anywhere. Make sure that's all good. I got some insulators for any corners that I need to make. I've got some scraps of wire. I have a bunch of new connectors for the wooden posts, my hammer to pound the nails in. I've got some shorter ones, some various ones that I've had around here. Some of them are these kind of mid-level ones. These ones are the shorter ones. And then I've got another reel of galvanized wire here. And usually what I do is just load up my this pouch. I've got my fencing tool, my channel lock fencing tool, which has been awesome. And I just kind of load this up with a bunch of connectors, throw my hammer in here, and I'll just kind of walk the fence and patch up what I need to patch up. So I think the goal today is going to be to just extend this middle wire that I have right around the corner here and just run it all the way down this backside. I'm going to run it a little bit higher than this one even, probably just to keep it right in that gap so that she hopefully will stay clear of this fence. And look who has finished with her treat and decided to come and join us. I'm sure she'll try to eat everything in my possession. Gotta get some fly spray out for her too. The flies look like they're getting pretty bad. Hi Maple. How's it going? You gonna check everything out? You been getting out? You gonna tell me where you been leaving? Huh? Where have you been getting out? Let's see, maybe we should just jump out. Where have you been getting out, Maple? Why don't you show me? Come on. Leave me alone. Hey, get. Go. Go. You stink. Stinky goat. So I'm no fencing expert, but generally what I do is probably get poison ivy doing this. But the corners, use one of these insulators here. Generally what I'll do is I'll actually, I guess you can do these either way, but I'll actually wrap a piece of wire around the post and I'll put this in there like that, and then I'll actually run my fencing wire through the middle. I don't think that's how you're technically supposed to use them, but it actually works better for me that way. So. One of the biggest mistakes that I ever made was when I first started doing this hot wire, you know, running electric wire around here. And I like to do both. I like to do the woven wire. Eventually we'll do probably like sheep and goat fencing, and then running a hot wire along the bottom for pigs and along the top for horses and other things like that, so they don't reach over the fence. But I saw this aluminum wire, and I think I saw it on Amazon, and I thought, man, I was looking up fencing stuff and looking at videos, and I thought, man, this stuff sounds great. It's a lot more expensive, but I figure, you know, galvanized fencing, I'm always seeing it rusts, and, you know, I was like, man, oh, I get aluminum. That sounds great. It will never rust, and it's a lot more malleable. It's a little easier to bend and tie and stuff like that. But this stuff is junk. You bend it a few times, and it falls apart. I mean, you can't reuse it. I've had galvanized wire out here that I've used, you know, for it's probably been out here for 50 years, and I picked it up and maybe it had some rust on it or here and there, but you know, I could still reuse it, and it doesn't break. This stuff is so soft, this aluminum, that if you tie it, you know, you tie it off, or you make a corner post with it, or you use it for something, and you use it a few times, and it just starts to fall apart. It just starts to break. So galvanized wire is the way to go. That's I'm no expert, but anyway, that's what I found. So I don't have any more actual corner insulators. So basically what I usually do is just make a loop, and you can use any insulator. This one has a hole through the center, so I'll use this one. Yeah, all the idea is to make sure it doesn't ground somewhere. So twist this around, feed our fence wire through, and we'll pull it tight here. So I'm going to go around this corner, and actually I'm going to extend this all the way down the other side of this pasture. And so I'm going to make a connection here, and this isn't the greatest, but I'm going to run this around the corner here and all the way down the other side of the pasture also. And so I'm going to make a connection here between two wires. I hadn't planned on doing this, is why I cut it, but I decided to go longer. So this isn't the best way to make connections. There's other tricks, but this has actually worked pretty good for me for quite a few years. I just take about, a foot of wire and overlap them, and then just make a good bunch of twists, and it works pretty good. Actually, you can pull this wire pretty tight, and it won't slip. Now, if you're doing high tensile or something, that's not going to work, obviously. I may not have any blood left by the time I'm done with this. Mosquitoes are killing me. And then for the reel, I just put a piece of wire on the reel, and we'll just pull it along that way. It'll unreel. We'll go all the way down the fence, and then we'll hook it to the insulators at the end. A lot of these posts already have insulators on them, so it's a bonus. All right, well, I was walking along here and putting this middle wire up, and I think I found the second glitch, the second problem here. The first day I think she got out where I had thought, but the second day, or maybe both days, I'm pretty sure got out here. That is a problem. She just walked right over that, which also probably grounded the electric fence out on this wire. Probably grounded it out, and so probably didn't even shock her. And then she probably walked all along here. In fact, I can see some laid down grass and that through here. Then I have a feeling she walked all the way down there on the outside of the fence, and then you can see the cars going by up there. She probably went out into the road in order to come around and get back to our house. So I think that solves the mystery. So I'm glad I decided to run a wire along here, so let's get this fixed. Well, that ought to fix the problem. Although that fence is really floppy, I need to come out with a T-post and tighten it up. Put a T-post in the middle, but for now that'll work. Test this before the mosquitoes eat me alive. Okay, works. Well, I think that we have maple contained for now, so hopefully the cops won't be looking for me anymore. The sheriff here, the county sheriff, they're very cool. We gave them our name and everything, so if they ever see cows running around in this area again, they can give me a call on my cell phone and let me know. But they were just trying to save the cow's life and people on the road. So, but I do think I found where she was getting out. Hopefully, the only way to know for sure is over the next couple days. If I don't find her wandering around our yard in the morning, then I'll know for sure that she's still staying inside the pasture. Pig birth coming soon. We'll have a bunch of piglets here again on the farm. It's a kind of a yearly thing, and so we'll take you guys along for some of that. And we've made a lot of animal changes this year. Will we keep Maple or won't we? We're not sure yet, so let us know what you think. We need to get her bred so that she can give birth next year if we're going to keep her. But it's a pretty big investment feeding a cow for years and years just to get some milk and some beef out of the whole thing. So we're trying to make that decision here right now. Let us know what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you. As always, don't forget to hit thumbs up on today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content, fencing and animals and things. So a lot of people love those videos, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.